Simon here. Thanks for listening to the Bitcoin update. If you do want to join our trading group, then visit bpoi.uk/join. That will take you to the sign up page. We've got some great offers at the moment, so if you just want a trial and you want to sign up to see what we're all about, then that's $40 per month, and you can just pay via Stripe payments or Google Pay via card. If you want to sign up for 6 months, then that's $100, and you can pay via crypto or card. 12 months, $150, saving $330 there. And then we do have lifetime memberships, 49 available at the moment at $200. Okay, but once these are gone, these are gone. If we, or when we hit 100 members, just starting out, so when we hit 100 members, we'll be giving away $1,000 in crypto to one of the 100 members. Okay, so bear that in mind when signing up. If you have any questions, just reach out to us on our website or via Telegram, and visit our YouTube page to see an overview of the trading group, all of the different channels. We've got 12 channels available, including alerts on breakouts of the setups that we post. We've got alerts on the top 100 USDT pairs on Binance, for the stock RSI and oversold, which is a very, very good channel. That's on the 4-hour and the daily. We've got a talk channel, we've got a news channel, we've got a dedicated Bitcoin channel where we post regular Bitcoin updates and lots more. So take a look at that. And like I say, if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer those. But these prices are just introductory prices as we've just launched, so make the most of it. Ideally sign up for lifetime membership and lock yourself in. I guarantee you we will either save you money or we will make you money. Okay, we will save you money by telling you not to trade, and we will make you money by posting profitable setups. Everything obviously dependent on Bitcoin and its movements, which we track daily. So like I say, if you have any questions, just get in touch. Okay, thanks. Morning guys, 8:20 on the 4th of January. So officially everyone, I believe, is back to work today. The markets are going to be open today as well, so we should see some sort of movement with regards to the price. We're kind of seeing that already. So Bitcoin update just on the 12-hour time frame, starting with the 12-hour time frame. So much the same. Okay, so we're in this period of consolidation, this larger falling wedge. We're accumulating, or seem to be accumulating, between 52.082 and 45.432. Okay, so we're just at the bottom of this accumulation phase at the moment. And what we're waiting for, so this vertical line here is the 10th of January. So what we're waiting for in and around this sort of time is a test of this upper trend line. Okay, let me zoom in slightly so we can see this a bit better. Okay, we're just waiting for a test of this upper trend line here. Okay, what we're looking for is either a breakout retest and a move higher, which would be somewhat of a bullish move for Bitcoin, as this has been quite a major trend line, or we're looking at a rejection and then another retest of 45.432 or this sort of area. Okay, so I think this will continue to move sideways, and we're gonna see some sort of retest, potentially the 8th or the 9th, 10th, maybe the 11th or the 12th. So I think this entire week is kind of important for Bitcoin, but I think we're just going to move sideways for the time being. We're looking for that breakout. Okay, we're looking for that breakout retest and move higher, although there is a ton of work for Bitcoin to do before it can be classed as bullish. If we see a rejection of this trend line, we're then keeping an eye on what would be then supports, 46.681, and then this lower support, 45.432. Okay, so this needs to hold. If this doesn't hold and we see a rejection of this upper trend line, then we've got to have in the back of our head that we could see a move down to around 38,000 if this pattern plays out. So if I just zoom back out slightly on this pattern, okay, let me just bring it into the middle. We can see this pattern here, touch, move to the top, move to the bottom, move to the top. Are we in a move to the bottom, or are we going to break out here? Okay, so crucial time for Bitcoin at the moment. And and we're just going to keep an eye on things over the next week. Let me undo that. So Bitcoin 4-hour chart, okay? So those of you just tuning in on YouTube, 4-hour chart is where we add most of the detail to our charting analysis. I feel a 4-hour chart is a good indication of what's going to be happening. Essentially still the same scenario. So we're facing resistance at 46,681, which is this area here, which is effectively being support and or resistance for some time. So basically since the 4th of December and support and or resistance. Okay, so currently acting as resistance. On the indicators though, remember we were looking for the 4-hour stock RSI to move to oversold. So we've seen that move to oversold, we've seen that bounce. Okay, and we're seeing that move up, although it's looking a little bit weak, but we potentially have an imminent cross on the MACD. So we're just keeping an eye on the MACD to see whether that does actually cross bearish as well. Stock RSI, remember the RSI, remember we said we were looking for some sort of bounce in and around this area where this trend line is. So no, we haven't quite hit that trend line yet, but potentially we'll move back down and then bounce off this particular trend line. So we're keeping an eye on the RSI at the same time. Okay, so are we going to see a bit of a rollover from the stock RSI before a move up? In which case the price action will probably retest this level again, 45,432, before moving up again. Or are we going to continue upwards and therefore test this upper trend line area? Okay, so we're just waiting to find out. Trading is extremely difficult at the moment. The resistance that we've got overhead, so on the 4 hours, this golden line here, as we've spoken about before, is the 200 SMA on the daily time frame. Okay, so what we have is we have current resistance, 46,681. We have the 21 SMA, which is this green and red line here. We've got the 50 SMA, which is the red line. We've got resistance at 47,870, where we can see previously that's acted as support or resistance. We've got the 200 SMA on the daily. We've got the 100 SMA on the 4 hour. We've got the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. We've got resistance at 48,503. We've got this particular trend line. Then obviously we've got our targets, so we're looking at Bitcoin needs to regain this level, 49,481, needs to regain this level, 51,600, and this is kind of where we said if Bitcoin hits 51,600 and holds, so it needs to get above and hold, then potentially we're bullish on Bitcoin. But the key level for me is still 53,781. Okay, so these are our targets with regards to bullish scenarios. We can see 51,600, you can see the resistance. Haven't been able to break there, haven't been able to break, okay. 53,781, we can see that that's acted as support before. So we're looking at this sort of level as a turning point for Bitcoin to be bullish, but it needs to hold the levels. No point just breaking through the levels and dropping back down, okay. We need to be holding these levels. But for us to be able to break through all of this resistance, we need volume, we need some news, we need some good news, and we just need the bulls to turn up, basically. Bulls are nowhere to be seen at the moment. You know, we are accumulating, which is good, but there is a lot of work for Bitcoin to do right now for us to turn bullish. And obviously this is affecting the altcoins as well. So falling wedge, you can see this falling wedge that we're trading in, and we're just going to see a test of this upper trend line, I believe, and it'll be important to see what happens there. Bitcoin on the 1 hour, so falling wedge on the 1 hour, we're just waiting to see if Bitcoin can break out of this area. So on your 1 hour time frame, very much the same. So touch to the top, bottom, top, bottom, top again, so we came round and then we just hit the bottom again. Are we going to get rejected here on the 1 hour and then move back down again? Okay, so at the moment, everything to do. Bitcoin dominance, however, okay, so we spoke about this yesterday. So dip below 39.73, which was our previous support level. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this down. Okay, we're just going to move this down to 39.55. Okay, so this is the actual bottom for this particular pattern at the moment. We're in a falling wedge. Now, what's going to be interesting is if Bitcoin dominance continues to move upwards here. If we look at the indicators, I'm on the daily time frame, so if we look at the indicators moving into oversold on the stock RSI, So there is potential for Bitcoin dominance to start to move up. I think, however, for the time being, we're just going to move sideways with Bitcoin. What we don't want to see is Bitcoin dominance pump, move upwards, and then Bitcoin move down, because that would be really, really bad for altcoin trading. And as you know, in this group, we generally trade altcoins. So keeping an eye on Bitcoin dominance for a move below 39.55, just to see what happens. But we're also keeping an eye on Bitcoin dominance for a move above this particular trend line. Okay, so we've had a bit of a bounce, possible double bottom, as we can see here, possible triple bottom if you go back far enough. So we've got, triple bottom scenario there, and we can see what's happened before when we've had this sort of bounce, we've had this move upwards. So when, for those of you who are new, when Bitcoin dominance is moving down like it is here, generally altcoins move up or move better. When Bitcoin dominance moves down, when Bitcoin dominance moves up, then altcoins generally don't do as well. Okay, so keep an eye on that. DXY, so dollar had a pump. So this essentially, if the DXY moves up, Bitcoin moves down. If the DXY moves down, Bitcoin moves up. So we've seen a pump recently. So this is a 4-hour time frame. So we can see that we've seen a bit of a pump bounce off the bottom trend line here. And we can see how that's affected Bitcoin on the 4 hours. So the bounce on the DXY was around about this area here. We can see this move down. Okay. So what we're looking for the DXY is a rejection of this upper trend line and then a move down, in which case that would help with regards to Bitcoin moving up in its current form. So on the 4-hour TF, if the DXY starts to move down, we should definitely see a retest of this upper time frame. Okay. Ethereum BTC, so keep an eye on Ethereum BTC. Let's just go to the daily quickly. Okay, Ethereum BTC is a good gauge of the altcoin and whether there's going to be a better performance out of altcoins. So we've been following this. So we were in this pennant. We broke out of this pennant, as you can see here, and we've retested. We've moved up, and then we've tested these upper trend line. I'm just going to move this red trend line, which is resistance, to the all-time high level. Okay, but recently we've just seen confirmation of this breakout and another bounce here. Okay, so Ethereum BTC currently moving upwards and has been in an uptrend, whereas Bitcoin's been in a downtrend. Ethereum's been outperforming Bitcoin and has been in an uptrend. Okay, so if you go to the 1 hour as well, look at the 1 hour time frame. Actually, you need to go to the 4-hour time frame. Reset chart. Sorry, I'm just going to move this back up. Just going to save the chart. We can just see that we've had another breakout. So if you go from the top down to the bottom, okay, we've just had this breakout here and a retest. So we've broken out and retested on 4-hour time frame. So confirmation of the breakout, successful breakout. So we're just going to see now if Ethereum continues to move up. We can draw in some resistance lines. So Alt H, put in a resistance line there, and we can see that that's been acting as support or resistance previously. So a break above this line and a retest and a move higher would be quite bullish for Ethereum BTC, and also help us establish some sort of bullish momentum potentially for altcoin trading as well. Just have a quick roundup of the news. So the third largest whale, Bitcoin whale, adds 21 million worth of BTC to at 46.3k. So this has literally just happened today, 6:32 a.m. 21 million might not be a lot, but the fact that this guy is holding 5.6 billion in Bitcoin generally tells us that, well, we follow him and we think he knows what he's doing. So potentially this sort of news gives us the impression that we may well be at the bottom. He's been accumulating in this range. So if you go back to Bitcoin 12-hour, he's been accumulating in this range for some time. Okay. That's not to say there's not going to be another leg down, and that's why a test of this upper trend line is crucial at the moment, just to see if the bulls can actually break this upper trend line, retest and move higher. Okay, but the fact that this guy is accumulating at this price doesn't mean he's not going to accumulate if the price drops lower, but it's a degree of confirmation that, you know, he's confident that Bitcoin is going to be moving upwards. Bitcoin dips below 47,000 as the US dollar surge dampens BTC price performance. Just posted this in the news, so have a look at the news and have a read of this. So this just gives you an idea of the correlation between the DXY and Bitcoin, and also looks at Ethereum and other things that we've been looking at today. Okay, so this is an article from 2020 that I'm just going to post. I'm going to post that now in the news channel. Okay. So this just gives you a good idea of the correlation between Bitcoin and DXY. So it's definitely worth a read. I know it's dated, but essentially the argument for the correlation is the same. Also touches on gold as well. So definitely worth a read just to fuel up on knowledge with regards to the DXY and why we should be actually following the DXY. What's next for Bitcoin? I also posted this in the news channel, so more regulations for sure. It's going to be interesting to see what's put in place this year with regards to regulation on Bitcoin. ATM supply, so yeah, we're going to definitely see more ATMs with regards to being able to withdraw cash if you're holding Bitcoin. Environmental improvements, yeah, much needed. I think there's going to be a lot of focus on Bitcoin mining, so have a read of that. Continued Bitcoin price volatility. There is no regulation, you're going to get price volatility. And that's just a fact. So until we see some regulation, it's just going to be a volatile coin to trade, along with all crypto. Crypto ETF approvals. So it'll be interesting to see how many more ETFs are approved and are up and running in 2022. So have a read of that as well. This Nexo's co-found Bitcoin to reach 100,000 by the middle of 2022. It was supposed to have reached 100,000 already, so I don't really buy into any of these predictions. I think you have to play the chart that's in front of you. So, you know, yeah, great if it does, and we'll enjoy the trading as it moves up to 100k, but yeah, I just don't buy into any of these predictions at the moment. So Lightning Speed, Taproot and the Lightning Network, a match made in heaven. Worth a read. So the Taproot network went live in November, I believe. And this is just a bit of background information. Hasn't really had much of an effect on the Bitcoin price, unfortunately, but we should see improvements in the network. So that's a bit of a roundup of the Bitcoin news from this morning. I'm not going to go into setups, but I'm just working on block setup at the moment. So everything's dependent on Bitcoin. It's very, very difficult to say, but block, I believe, is accumulating. We're in this falling wedge right now, and I think if we see a bit of a move from Bitcoin, or we see Bitcoin dominance break lower, potentially see these altcoins move. So with regards to our setups, those who are new, basically in the group we provide video analysis, and we give you this chart. We give you the profit targets. These are based on fib levels just before where the fib levels are actually based. Always take profits before the fib levels if you're going to take profits. 618 is the key target, so 109% from block if it starts to move higher and breaks out of this falling wedge. But remember that it's all dependent on Bitcoin right now. Also, you get alerts, so whenever you hit these take profit levels, you get alerts in a take profit channel. You also get a breakout alert, so when this upper trend line is broken, you'll get an alert in a breakout channel that we've got in our Telegram group. Okay, so I will post this setup. I haven't posted this yet, but I'll post this setup in the group shortly. But certainly one to keep an eye on, falling wedge. Potentially in an accumulation phase at the moment, and hopefully we're going to see a breakout when Bitcoin moves higher. But we have to be prepared for a move lower if Bitcoin decides to, let's look at the 12 hour, if Bitcoin gets rejected here and starts to move lower, loses these levels, you can expect block to move lower. So you have to have your stop loss in place, stop loss placed below the lower trend line of the falling wedge. Okay, so keep an eye on block. And then the other ones that we're just looking at, so remember we spoke about Rose. So Rose is still starting to move lower, but still moving higher. So we're looking for a rejection on Rose in and around the area where it's trading now, and then a move back down to this area of value. Same with mask. Mask is moving lower, so area of value again. We're just going to make sure this lower trend line holds, but in an uptrend. Unlike Bitcoin, this is the daily time frame. And then you've got AVAX, I believe, looking very similar as well. So uptrend. This is the daily time frame as well. So we're looking for AVAX to hit this area of value before we potentially enter some altcoin positions. Again, depending on Bitcoin. The good thing is, if Bitcoin does move lower, AVAX is in a position where, even though Bitcoin moved lower, potentially test the lower trend line, AVAX may well still maintain this pattern, and we will see then a move up to the upper trend line. Okay, so just a few coins there that we're looking at. So back to Bitcoin. Primarily, it's a waiting game, watching what Bitcoin does, and it's struggling to get above this 46,681 at the moment. It's not a good sign, really. So we just need to make sure 45,432 holds, and we need to do a challenge. We need to make a challenge of this upper trend line. My prediction is in and around the 10th of January, we'll see a test of this trend line, and we'll find out if we're going to get rejected or not. So safe trading, and I will catch you in the next video tomorrow morning. And if you've got any questions, just let me know. If you're interested in joining the group, visit our website at www.bpoi.uk, and certainly look us up on Telegram, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so I'll catch you later. Cheers.